Hello, I'm Brad Hadank, and welcome to Sportspage. In this program, we talk to the athletes, coaches, and staff who work to make University of Central Missouri Athletics one of the premier college sports programs in the MIAA and Division II as a whole. This is Sportspage. Our first guest today is Zach Zebrowski. Zach is a redshirt senior quarterback for the Mules football program who comes all the way from Minnesota. Along with this, last season he was only the second Mule in UCM history to win the Harlan Hill Trophy. The Harlan Hill is awarded to the top football player in Division II every season. So with all of that, it is my honor to welcome Zach Zebrowski to Sportspage. So Zach, starting with the Harlan Hill, when you transferred to UCM, was that even a thought in your mind?
No, I was just coming here trying to get a starting job at a college and have as much fun playing football as I could. It's definitely like once you're here, you kind of learn about it, But no, the farthest I probably went was just trying to win Conference Player of the Year and be able to start. But no, it wasn't on my goal list when I first got here.
So take me through like that process. What all did you get to do because you won the Harlan Hill?
Yeah, a lot of interviews, but it was a cool experience, and having the announcement or having the ceremony here and be able to give a speech in front of people in Warrensburg was a really cool thing, and then just a lot of hype surrounding it. But it was cool to just kind of see the work I put in and kind of see it settle out.
So now this year, a year after, has this brought scouts to UCM? What has this brought for you in this next season?
Yeah, there's been a good amount of NFL scouts just coming in and seeing how I play and seeing how I am and seeing if they like me or not. So it's just been a cool experience, kind of going from kind of under the radar to actually being like the face of Division II football. So it's been pretty cool. But yeah, there's been some people come through, probably more than usual. But I'm just playing football, so it doesn't really bother me or get me too excited or down.
And you said the face of Division II. Does that add any pressure to you that wasn't there before?
Some people might think so, but no, I don't think so. When I'm like maybe off the field, sometimes you think about it, you're like, dang, it's kind of crazy to think about or kind of a little different. But when I'm playing football or when I'm out of practice or in a game, I'm just playing football with my friends, so it doesn't really feel too much pressure. But yeah, I think you can feel it a little bit outside of football, but once you're playing football, you're playing the game that you've been playing since you were 4 or 5 years old.
And you talk about your friends. So like when I look out at the UCM sideline during a game, people seem to actually be excited for one another. You don't see that with every team. So with that culture, how excited have they been for you with this Harlan Hill process, you winning it?
Yeah, it's been really cool. I think they've all been really excited for me, and knowing that it's a team award too. Like if we had a 5-6 record and I put up the numbers that I did, I'm probably not winning the Harlan Hill. So I think they know that it was a big team award. And yeah, I think the culture on our team last year and this year has been really good, and people are just excited for each other. Like when some receiver or some running back scores a touchdown, like the other receivers and running backs are as excited, you wouldn't even know if they scored it or their teammates scored it. Like they're just as happy for them. So I think it's a really cool thing to be a part of, and yeah, I think they were pretty excited for me.
And Coach Josh Lamberson, your head football coach, preaches epic, every person impacts culture, if I have that right. So just how has the culture been at UCM compared to maybe some of your other stops, other colleges, high school, youth even?
Yeah, I don't think any of my other stops have been bad cultures or like a bad thing, but I think we do have a really good thing going here. I think definitely starts with Coach Lamberson and just kind of setting the tone every day and talking about what we value in our program and the do's and don'ts and everything like that. So I think it's just a really good culture, a fun culture to be a part of, and I think people enjoy seeing other people succeed. And I think it's kind of like a drug sometimes. Like you see, you want to help people when they can't help you, and it's kind of a pretty cool thing to see. So yeah, I think he's done a great job instilling the culture, and the players, the new players, the old players have done a really good job of kind of maintaining that culture and not letting anything get off the rails.
And Coach Lamberson has now coached 2 Harlan Hill Award winners yourself. And then as his time as the offensive coordinator here, you coach Eric Cerneski. So how is his offensive mind? How much has he helped you become the quarterback that you are now?
Yeah, I think he's helped me a ton. Him, Coach Bain, our offensive coordinator, and Coach Hawk, our quarterbacks coach. I think all 3 of those guys have done a really good job of kind of just putting the confidence in me to go out there and let it rip and play free and play fast and have a lot of fun. But yeah, I think all three of them have done a really good job of giving me the game plan, telling me like where I should be looking and stuff like that. Then also just letting me play and knowing that part of my game is making some plays or extending some plays. So I think trying to find that fine line of letting me do some stuff and then also reining me in and making sure I'm doing the right thing every day. And just I think that comes through watching film and being out of practice and just having a good relationship. So I think, yeah, all three of those guys have, made it really easy on me to just go out there every Saturday and feel confident that I'm going to get the job done because of the work that they've made me put in.
And now talking about the school you transferred from for a second, SIU, Southern Illinois. Your dad, Jim, began his coaching career as a grad assistant at SIU. Your mom, Heather, had a ton of success with volleyball, was the Female Athlete of the Year in the 95-96 season. So did family ties at SIU play a role in you heading to Carbondale at all?
Yeah, I think it definitely did. I don't know if the specific people or the people that tied into there were still there when I went there, but I think just me kind of knowing about Southern Illinois, I don't think growing up in a few different places, but mostly Minnesota, I don't think Southern Illinois would have been like something I knew about or a school that I knew about. But yeah, them just, kind of both being there and kind of watching them a little bit when I was younger, and my mom and dad just knowing about it and being really comfortable, I think it was definitely part of my decision to go there was like just being comfortable with the area and them knowing how I'm going to be and knowing how it is and them being able to give me some good information on how it was there. So I think, yeah, it definitely played a little bit of a role.
And talking about your family for a second, your dad is the quarterbacks coach at the University of Kansas for the Jayhawks and also the co-offensive coordinator now. So co-offensive coordinator, quarterbacks coach. How is that tied into you being the quarterback you are now? How much has he helped you?
Yeah, I think he's done a really good job with me just kind of being the dad before being a coach and in my whole life. I think a lot of people probably assume that we were out there every day on the turf, just throwing it around, just him making me do drills and everything like that. And that's really not how it was at all. It was kind of, we probably played more basketball and baseball growing up than football. I think he just wanted to be that dad that supports me and didn't want to be the football coach that made his son play football and kind of overdo it with that. So I think he was always just really good at giving me confidence and letting me have fun out there. Like, even when we talk about games now, like, we're talking about some scheme and stuff, but he's really just happy, being happy that he's a dad, being able to watch his son have a really fun time playing football. So I think he helped me a lot with the confidence and mental side, but the football side, we always kind of just let it roll and whatever happened.
So you said your dad's been a great support. How much of a support has the rest of your family been in this journey?
Yeah, I think they've been huge. Even when I was at SIU for 4 years, I didn't start at all, or I played a little bit, but not much meaningful playing time, and it was a 10-hour drive from Minnesota, and my mom probably made 80% of our home games just coming to see me, just showing that support, even if I'm not playing, just her showing that she loves me and the whole family being there all the time. So I think they did a really cool job of just showing that they love me regardless of the athletic outcome, and they've always been a big support. And now them being in Lawrence, being an hour and a half away, and being able to come to most of the games, I think it's a really cool experience for me and for them, being able to watch their son just have fun every Saturday and knowing that I kind of waited a long time for this to come. So I think the sport's really meant everything to me.
And at SIU, you did have that limited time. So how did you deal with that to wait your turn and now be one of the top quarterbacks in the nation, as some could see it with the Harlan Hill?
Yeah, I think it's just patience. I think you can't overdo the process. Like, it's gonna happen how it happens. I think just being patient, as long as you know, like, I know I was working every day there. I know my time might not have came, but like every day I was really focused on just getting better. And I think by that happening, I knew I wasn't going to put in this much work and not have something succeed. So I think it was just kind of waiting. And I had a really good group of guys there, and it was just fun to be around them. So I think we had a good culture there too, and just being able to hang out with friends and not have my entire life tied into football, I think it just made me realize there's bigger things, and knowing that my time's going to come if I keep putting in the work.
And transferring from SIU to UCM, were there some other factors in that? Were there some other schools in the mix? What made you choose Warrensburg, Central Missouri?
Yeah, there was definitely some other schools, but a few of the things I thought my conversations with Coach Hawk and Coach Lambeau, I thought they went really well, and I thought I could find a home here. When I transferred here, I didn't know much about Division II, and I got here and I was really impressed with just like the facilities, the support from the community. Like it felt like a big time college. So that, and then the offense that we ran, they were talking about how it's going to be spread out. We're going to throw the ball a lot, let the quarterback make a lot of plays, and I thought that offense fit me. It was kind of what I did in high school, so I thought I felt comfortable with it. And then the last thing, just being an hour and a half away from home, it was really nice for knowing when I was at SIU, I was 10 hours away and didn't really make it home much besides like breaks. And now I could go home today and make it back today for practice, which is a pretty cool thing for me and my parents to be able to see me all the time.
So at UCM, you hold some records for football, but you've also held some records for basketball back at your high school, East Ridge, the single-season assist record, and you have to be unselfish to get that, share the ball, not be a ball hog. So how much has that helped you, that unselfishness, into the quarterback you are now?
Yeah, no, I think my offensive coordinator jokes about it a lot, but kind of talks about whenever I'm scrambling in football, it's kind of just me playing point guard. So I think basketball has always helped me in the world of football, just because there's so many times where you're just passing or you're getting assists, or you're just seeing a lot of people. And football is the same way. You're seeing a lot of people down the field, and you got to figure out who to throw to or make the best decision. So I think basketball really just helped me the most in like my decision making. It's a fast-paced game. You kind of just got to make something happen, and then if it's bad, forget about it, move on to the next play. So I think playing quarterback, how I play, and playing point guard in basketball are pretty similar things.
So to get here in Warrensburg, you've been on a journey from East Ridge High School to SIU to now UCM. You've used your red shirt, your COVID year, all of that. How much has that journey shaped you into who you are today?
Yeah, I think I'm a totally different person than I was 6 years ago when I was graduating high school, which was a long time ago. But I think it's been a really cool experience, and some people have asked, like, are you happy you went to SIU, or are you happy you didn't play there? And I don't think I'd be the person I was today if I didn't go through a lot of that and sit on the bench and know I have to get better and know that my time might come in a different place. So I think I love how it went. I think it shaped me into a really well-rounded person and someone who can handle a lot of adversity. So I think I wouldn't trade it for the world.
But with those 6 years now, you're working on your master's in sports management here at UCM, and I mean, you would think it's being supported by football. So how much has that helped you to be able to get all of this education in your time?
Yeah, no, it's definitely paid off a lot, and just knowing that football is going to be done one day. If it's after college, if I get a career after, even people that play in the NFL for 20 years, like you have 50 years of your life after football. So it's been really cool to just get that education and learn a lot on the way, and have it be supported by football, which is really nice.
So while we have a second, do you have any plans for the future right now?
No, not right now. Hopefully play football as long as I can, but my dad's been a college football coach my whole life, so I think coaching's in the career.
Well, Zach, congratulations on all of your accomplishments thus far, and best of luck for the rest of the season and then beyond as a student athlete, not just an athlete, but a student as well, so in all of those realms. So we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to meet University of Central Missouri's Vice President of Intercollegiate Athletics, Dr. Matt Howdeshell. We return right after this. Welcome back to Sportspage. In this next segment, we will be joined by UCM's Vice President of Intercollegiate Athletics, Dr. Matt Howdeshell. Dr. Howdeshell is in just his second year with the Mules and Jennies, but has already found a lot of success. Last season, 12 UCM teams made NCAA Division II postseason appearances, with 3 MIAA championships, 2 MIAA postseason tournament titles, and 1 NCAA Division II regional championship. But Dr. Howdeshell's success does not end there. Academics within athletics is thriving, with over 260 Mules and Jennies earning MIAA Academic Honor Roll recognition. Facilities are being improved with the completion of the Harbert Collegiate Golf Center for Mules and Jennies Golf, and renovations have been completed at the Terry Nolan football offices, and the multi-purpose building was renamed after the late, the great Jerry Hughes. So Dr. Howdeshell, just to start, I mean, you've done just a great job with UCM, but why athletics? What got you into the athletic side of things?
Well, first off, Brad, thank you for the opportunity to be here today, and thank you for all that you and your team do for UCM and for UCM Athletics. We really appreciate it and giving us this platform. So a little bit about myself and my background. You know, as you probably know, as we talked about, I grew up in Cuba, Missouri. I had I'm the youngest of 5. I had 4 older siblings, and so I was the youngest growing up, and they were always playing sports, my 3 older brothers especially, and so that got me into sports growing up. I played football, baseball, basketball, ran track, golf. You know, you do everything when you grow up in a small town. And I really enjoyed the lessons, the life lessons that sports and athletics taught. You know, teamwork, discipline, hard work ethic, you know, all those things. And so that really stuck with me growing up. And then, you know, I was naive enough to think that I was talented enough to play college athletics. And so I went to Missouri State University to try to walk on to the football team. And they politely told me I could help the team more off the field, you know, than I could on the field. But I was really fortunate. That's how I got my foot in the door in college athletics. I thought I wanted to be a coach starting out. Thought I wanted to be a football coach. So I got my degree from there in history education. And I helped out the football team during my time there. I did everything basically the coaches didn't want to do. So I did video, operations, equipment. It really opened my eyes to this other world outside of coaching the student athletes that was there to support the student athletes and new ways to support it. So that's really how I got involved in athletics, and all the way throughout my time playing college or playing youth sports, I had coaches and mentors who really invested in me and believed in me and challenged me to be better than myself, than what I was at the time. And so that's always left a lasting impact on me, and one of the reasons why I continue to be very passionate about college athletics today.
So you say you come from Cuba, Missouri. That's about 3 hours from here, Rolla, St. Louis area, if I'm right on that. But you've been a lot further from home in your career, but now you're back to just 3 hours away. So just in all of this, is this where you saw yourself growing up in Cuba? Did you see yourself ending up in a position like this or somewhere else?
Well, absolutely, Brad. You know, quite honestly, no, I did not see myself being here today. You know, growing up in Cuba, I'm the son of 2 first-generation non-traditional college students. So my parents, you know, they didn't get a college degree initially when they came out of high school. They worked full-time to raise me and my brothers. And then, you know, then they went back to school and got their degree. So seeing them go back to school while raising us, working full-time, left a lasting impact on me, how important a college degree is. And that's something that I've always kind of kept close to me. And I always thought, no matter what opportunities I have, I'm going to maximize the educational opportunities that are available to me. So I was very fortunate to go to Missouri State University, like I said, out of high school. Got my undergraduate degree there. When I graduated from there, I was looking for a graduate assistant opportunity because, again, I didn't know. I thought I wanted to be a coach. I wanted to work in college athletics and be around student athletes. And so I was fortunate enough to get a graduate assistantship opportunity at Northern Arizona University. Again, doing some more grunt work, behind the scenes work, but I loved it. After about 6 months, I got promoted to director of football operations. And then after 5 years doing that, the director of football operations, the athletic director came to me at the time and said, "Matt, have you ever thought about being an AD someday?" And that's Dr. Lisa Campos. She's the AD at the University of Texas, San Antonio. And I said, "No, I never have thought about that." And she said, "Come by my office someday. I think you'd be good at it." And so I was really fortunate to have someone who took the time and invested in me, trusted me, and she wound up hiring me as an assistant athletic director on the administrative side of things. And so from there, I was promoted to associate athletic director and senior associate athletic director, and that was over a 13-year time span at Northern Arizona University. And then as we got older, my wife and I, we had 3 boys. We have Peter, Benjamin, and Max. We were looking for opportunities to get back close to family. And my wife grew up in Concordia, Missouri, which is 20 minutes from Warrensburg. So I'd been to Warrensburg hundreds of times, visiting this town, visiting family and everything. And I always thought, you know what, if this opportunity ever came up, it might be a great opportunity. Now, I never thought I wanted to live 20 minutes from my mother-in-law, you know.
That's how it goes.
That's how it goes. But you get older in life and your priorities change, and we're very honored and blessed to be at UCM where we are today. So short answer to your question, no, I never thought I'd be here today. But in long answer, yes, very happy and honored to be the athletic director at the University of Central Missouri.
And now in Warrensburg, as the athletic director, formerly the vice president of Intercollegiate Athletics, you've got 1 year under your belt. So what does it take to just lead a program that's one of the best in Division II in the nation?
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, Vice President for Intercollegiate Athletics is a fancy way to say athletic director, so just want to say that. Athletic director, it's a very big position, you know, and it's something I take very seriously. But honestly, the reason we're so successful is two things. First and foremost, because of the great work that Jerry Hughes did here at the University of Central Missouri and the foundation he laid during his time here, during his 40 years here. So that's first and foremost. But second, and most importantly, is our people, our coaches, our staff, our student athletes. We would not be where we are today without all the hard work that they do. And so I view my role as the athletic director or vice president for Intercollegiate Athletics as a servant leader, just supporting them, making sure that they have the resources they need to be successful.
So talking about being a servant leader, what do you do on a day-to-day basis?
Well, that's a good question. What I love about this job, what I love about being the athletic director is that no 2 days are the same. So really, I think it boils down to three things. It boils down to, first and foremost, to problem solving. You can walk in the office someday and have this agenda of things you want to get done, your to-do list, but because you're supporting our people, our coaches, our staff, and our student athletes, there's always challenges that arise. And I kind of thrive on problem solving and finding solutions to those problems. And so you might not get anything on your to-do list done today, but you're solving these problems of our people and helping them advance things and move things forward. The other thing is variety. You know what I mean? No 2 days are the same. You know, when you're solving problems, you're putting out fires, there's always a variety in what you do, and I kind of thrive on that as well. And then third is our people. I'm a people person. I get really energized by being around people, being around our student athletes especially. And so that really keeps me energized and building those relationships with people.
And one of the big things you've done is either build facilities or upgrade facilities. So one of those is the Harbert Collegiate Golf Center. So how did that come to be?
Yeah, absolutely. So the Harbert Collegiate Golf Center was something that was already kind of in the works when I came here. So I can't take credit for that necessarily. But the Harbert Collegiate Golf Center came about because of the generous support that we received from our alumni and our donors, specifically Rand Harbert. So Rand Harbert played golf here at UCM. He had a great career with State Farm Insurance and eventually rose the ranks to the Vice President of Marketing for State Farm. And if you ever get to spend time with Rand, he'll tell you all the stories about how, as the Vice President of Marketing, he kind of started the marketing partnership with Aaron Rodgers, and then eventually Patrick Mahomes, and all those commercials you see on Sunday during football games were his brainchild. And so we're very fortunate. He's been very invested with the Harmon College of Business here on campus as well, but also gives back to athletics. And because of his relationship he had with Coach Tim Poe, our Mules golf coach, they came up and decided that our Mules golfers and our Jennies golfers kind of had a shortage. They had a deficiency. They didn't have locker room space. The coaches didn't have offices. I like to tell this story, but Rhonda Poe, Tim Poe's wife, has done the laundry of the Mules golf team for the last 30 years because they didn't have a laundry facility. So really this facility came about to meet the needs of our Mules and Jennies golfers because of a passionate alum who wanted to meet those needs.
And then another one was the Terry Nolan football offices. And those were completed very close to game day. So how did that work out? Was that a little stressful for you?
Yeah, absolutely. But again, we have a great staff. We have a phenomenal staff. Kelsey Lee, who's our Associate Athletic Director for Facilities and Capital Projects, led point on that project. DeMarco Butler, our Director of Football Operations, he did a great job. And they coordinated with our Facilities and Planning and Operations office on campus as well to make sure that project was done. It was stressful, and there's challenges that came up along the way. But again, because of the generous support of our football alumni, that project came to reality. And so those offices were originally completed in the early 90s. I asked if we could keep the red shaggy carpet in there, but I got overruled. So they're all newly renovated and remodeled, and they went from being the space that when coaches had recruits on campus, they used to kind of hide it from them. They didn't want to show it to them because it was so outdated and really didn't meet the needs of the program. To now, with these beautiful renovated offices, it's actually a place they showcase to recruits to show them that these are the facilities you have here at UCM to help you maximize your potential. And also, this is the support we receive from our alumni and donors here at UCM too.
And you're getting more support than ever right now. Football attendance last season was up 34%. Volleyball set a single season attendance record. But even with that, I mean, according to the website, UCM led MIAA network in total views last year. How do you get both? People would say you get one or you get the other because people stop coming to games because they watch online, but you're getting both. How does that work?
Well, Brad, I think, it goes back to, first and foremost, what you talked about before was the outstanding athletic success and accomplishments that our teams had last year. Conference championships, we tied a school record for wins in football last year. Volleyball set an attendance record because they were in the midst of a historic championship season. And baseball, went to the College World Series as well last year. So whenever you combine all that athletic success together, people want to be a part of it, right? There's that extra affinity that comes to UCM, that connection from our alumni, whether they're local or outside the area too. We've seen the attendance increase. I would first off refer to that, to the increase in athletic success, but also because we've tried to enhance the fan experience as well. We've tried to make the experience as something that people want to be a part of, regardless of our teams winning or losing. Don't get me wrong, we want our teams to win championships. We want all of our teams to win championships. But we know that, statistically speaking, not everyone's going to win a championship. And so what we challenge our team to do is to make a game day an experience that people want to be a part of, that people want to go to. So we've done some things to enhance the fan experience. We've got alcohol sales implemented at games for customers who are over 21. We've enhanced the concessions options at the games as well with our partnership with Sodexo. We've implemented a clear bag policy to help with security at the games and everything. And so all of these enhancements are meant to enhance the fan experience and make people want to come to the game.
So you've talked about all this fan experience, but just UCM Athletics as a whole, what's next for UCM Athletics? Is there anything big on the horizon?
Well, yes, there are. And so we just completed our strategic plan recently, which is our vision, our shared vision for the future for the next 5 years. And in our strategic plan, we've identified some very detailed goals that we want to achieve over the next 5 years. Our first goal is student-athlete experience. And so in student-athlete experience, we surveyed our student-athletes last year and asked them what enhancements would they most like to see to help them in their experience. And the first enhancement that came back was nutrition, a fueling station. You think about it, our student-athletes are working out, they're practicing, and they're expending a lot of calories. And keeping the nutritional support in them to be able to compete at a high level is really important. So we had a donor, a very generous donor, who funded a fueling station, the construction of a fueling station, but also funded the product in the fueling station, protein recovery shakes, for the first 2 years. We just started that this fall. Our student athletes have really enjoyed it. Also mental health. You know how important mental health is amongst our youth population, not just student athletes, but college students in general. And because of the support we received from campus and also our alumni and donors, we were able to hire the first mental health counselor at UCM dedicated to student athletes, 100% dedicated to student athletes. Keneal Purefoy started this past month, and 100% of his caseload is dedicated to student athletes and making sure that they have the mental health support that they need. So those are our two big student athlete experience initiatives. And then on top of that, we just completed a master facility plan as well to identify our facility needs for the near future and fundraising efforts behind those.
Well, that's awesome. So congratulations on all of your success, and I look forward to seeing all that on the horizon. And that's about all the time we have for this episode. I'd like to thank our guests, Zach Zebrowski and Dr. Matt Howdeshell, for joining me, and I hope you'll tune in next time for Sports Page.